Five guys playing jazz. You may have noticed that there are 4 guys playing jazz at the moment. That's how it works with this group. I'm Christopher Luna. We're going to do a little poetry and jazz for you. And the first piece is called Too Cute to Kill. That title comes from my mother, actually. That's what she had to say about me, that I was too cute to kill. He's a questioning motherfucker in the moment, chewing on the divine. But there's a monster in his mind, looking for a real big woman to make love to. The government took all his clothes. Still, he beat it. Beat it the hard way, man. With the Rosicrucian thing. Refused to be saved from an early grave. Penitent grade, retrograde, suicide. Pin wave, swept away by the centigrade. Time travel possible for those who attract riches straight into their pockets. Not distant enough gunfire elicits nary a raised brow. Let the children play as spent bullet casings rain down. I test drive. Don't be afraid. Allow your spirit to be spayed for what is left to enjoy anyway. All doomed, washed up, over, filleted. Glaze, craze, blade across the horizon. Slow down or be swept away. Thank you. I'm just going to chat with these guys for a moment.
I've taken 2 pictures to memory's full. I didn't know this number. It's a Samsung.
I usually buy 32 gigs because 32 gigs just for video. It's only $5. So that's not even 2 gigs down.
Have a bigger than that.
So, the 32 are $30. And I don't usually delete them. I usually just buy new ones. Yeah, they have, I think, 6 of them.
So what are you doing? Saving them for doing this?
I'm just afraid if my computer crashes or something, I won't have them all.
Of course, computer people will tell you that electronic memory, that's probably one of the worst things. hard drive.
I know it.
Hard drive.
I know it.
This poem is called Your Heart is as Big as the World. Soldier, a medic, performing an autopsy on your broken soul. Waist deep in an autoclave, all sorts of past demise. I ejaculate red, white, and blue. It's not sanity. Even if you high, that shit don't sound sane. Where are the helpful hordes? Have they got some sort of social anxiety disorder? I remember how transforming it was to feel that I was loved. How does one disable speech? Jim Morrison read Rimbaud, Nietzsche's Birth of Tragedy, and Joseph Campbell's Hero of 1,000 Faces. I want to know what the fuck moved him to do these things. image.
I can't eat the bread. I didn't know.
Starving artists. That's legit. And now for some real gore. Dying to oneself. The vocabulary of the mystics. A geography of the spirits for me. Our sweet, blind, bottomless hope. Took too long to get here. Still glad I made the journey.
I just tried it as an experiment and noticed it really helps. Didn't be gluten-free.
I think on the long-term deep, it was to start with, since it's from the middle period, is like if you, is it okay if you yeah, I think that would be good. First it's going to be this is going to take me like 20 seconds to read, and then I'll introduce the words. Okay, let's hear it again for 5 guys playing jazz. That was pretty cool. Catalyst of the furrowed brow, make it heartward soon somehow. Fearlessness its own reward anyhow. Nothing real other than this here now. This piece is called Yesternow. It was written after the song of the same name by Miles Davis on an album called Tribute to Jack Johnson. A hand offered, only to be withdrawn, comes to resemble a claw, a gnarled branch to resent. Meet me in the bathroom. Meet me in the forest. I'll dry your tears and you can dry mine. Or else, just show me what you've been hiding beneath your blue shawl. Good, evil, then, now, here, gone. Enough of this. For all, tear a page from the scrapbook, shred it, then spend every night for the rest of eternity reassembling the frayed bits together with a glue stick, as if your life depended on it. Others decide whether you are truly loving, truly compassionate, truly present, and finally, whether you are here at all. Imagine an enormous hillside covered in soft grass, many bodies entwined, braided lovingly, no jealousy, no ownership, just loving kindness shared freely and without fear. Close your eyes for a moment. Might just be able to picture it. Intend to be gentle, not to injure. Still, someone always gets hurt. For years I longed to be larger than life, but this isn't quite what I pictured. Didn't expect tears, exile, trauma. Intention entirely beside the point once the damage has been done. Know what you're doing. No idea what you're doing. Sometimes life is like a shitty movie. Can you leave that story behind? Flip the script, be truly cool, find a way to get it right this time? lonely fingers band together to form a variety of mudras. Even broken fingers have a story to tell, though the message may not be what you expected. Back off. Watch your tone. Avert the eyes. When you walk around with a mirror all the time, it's not possible to hide who you are. Connect, disconnect, step forward, sprint away. Linger in this moment, for the next is not guaranteed. Lay your unsent letters across the table or on your bedroom floor. Rearrange till you don't recognize them no more. Forgive me. Allow me. One more chance. Didn't mean to run a game. Only responded to heart's dance. Who doesn't want to dance? Once you decide that it would be better to stay seated, isn't it fair to say that the adventure has concluded? while these guys are figuring out what's happening, I just want to say thank you to Niche for having me, and you know, please tip Reed and Evan and be good to them. I'm really grateful to Niche and Angs for providing a place for poetry for a really long time, and we're going to continue to bring poetry and music collaborations here as long as they want to have us. Leah is really the person doing so much behind the scenes stuff in Vancouver that people don't even realize how much of what happens here is because of Leah Jackson. And she's not in the room right now, but I just always make sure to acknowledge that. These two amazing spaces and all the energy that she puts out into Vancouver are a big part of why we now have a Vancouver Arts District, and we're, you know, on the map for sure on both sides of the river. Have forms. It's all a movie, including this conversation. There's no answer to it. Sometimes I reference people or the stars, the sun, the moon, and universal interstellar space type shit. But then she looks at me with those eyes. She punches me in the physics, and I realize that we are filled with the seeds of all the troubles and blessings of existence, but also provided with the sustaining virtue, hope. It is the necromantical noumena of the netherworld we are courting. You don't see any magic? Here on the streets is action. It's exciting, very large. A non-human, abstract dance, a war of elements, torn, resoldered percussion gestures. It is the fecund labyrinth again, with so many rooms, cells, vibrations, percussions, repercussions. Reciprocity is in the house. innocence. Lips touch soft my rim. Let's not become robots and forget our fellow man. Applaud all songs. If crows were robots, I'd love them just the same. I think to love bravely is best, and accept as much as you can bear. That's it for me. I want to say thank you to Five Guys Playing Jazz, and they're going to play a few more tunes for you now. I also want to acknowledge Leah Stenson, who gave us a great reading from Reverberations from Fukushima next door earlier. She's still here, so if you want to learn about that book and possibly pick up a copy of it, you can do that. I also have some books for sale over here if anybody's interested. Or if you'd like to know about the open mic poetry reading that I host here in town, I also have flyers for that. So thank you, everybody, and let's hear it again for Five Guys Playing Jazz.